Hi there, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jaymie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast.
For 15 years now, we've been proudly helping breeders promote hundreds of thousands of pedigree livestock with our easy-to-use animal management-driven website software.
And let's not forget about Hired Hand Live, where over $1 million worth of livestock is sold online each year.
We're excited to bring you market trends, sales data, advice from your fellow breeders, and stories from the ranch.
Our software makes managing your website and your animals a breeze, so you can focus on what you love.
So let us handle your digital chores while you tune in to another episode of From the Pasture with Hired Hand.
Welcome to this pre-sale episode of From the Pasture with Hired Hand. Today we're talking about the upcoming Glendenning Fiesta Sale, where top consignments are coming from pastures all across the country. Our guests and sale hosts, Rex and Sherese Glendenning, will give us an inside look at the cattle and other details for the weekend. Be sure to visit hiredhandlive.com, where you can view all the consignments, get detailed information, and place your bids. You can also check out the consigners' websites powered by Hired Hand software to learn more about their programs. If you're excited to hear about the outstanding Longhorns headed to the sale ring, stay tuned. We've got the full rundown. Well, hi, Rex and Sherese. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Jaymie. How are you?
So for people who may not know you, can you give an introduction of yourself and how long you've been in Longhorns, maybe how you got started?
You want me to do that, or you want to do it?
You did.
Well, we've been in the Longhorn business for about 41 years. We got indoctrinated in the Longhorn business in 1984, 85, which will be 41 years ago. And we got, I don't know if oversold or undersold, it might be there, but J.B. Hunn, who is a Longhorn breeder up here in Celina, was adamant that I take half of a real estate commission in Longhorns. And I was adamantly opposed to that. And so was my wife, and he won, and we ended up picking out 4 Longhorn heifers from his herd, and ended up getting bit by the Longhorn fever and Longhorn bug. And 44 decades later, here we are at our second annual Glendenning Fiesta Sale.
And who would have thought it all started from a trade for a real estate commission, huh?
You know,
Exactly.
dirt had to be involved in some way or the other, right?
Yeah, right. So this is your second year taking over the Fiesta Sale. How do you feel this year with it being your second year versus last year it being your first year? I'm sure the stress level is probably maybe a little bit lower this year.
You want to take that one?
I would say it's much lower than last year. Last year we were still under construction, and it was a blur. But we did it. We made it.
I think it's a little easier too. I think we had close to 26 or 27 inches of rain between January of 24 and April 28th or 29th or whatever it was of last year. Then the spigots shut off, but we had almost 30 inches of rain last year, which slowed down some of our planned construction but getting our sales pavilion and arena finished and our parking lots finished and things like that. And this year to have that all pulled together and to build from that and to maybe improve upon it has been much less anxiety and much more enjoyable. And we did some things and to try to improve our facilities, built 42 new heifer pens, and Sherese built what is called the big outhouse. We've got our own bathroom facility and now our own little ranch office for Lori and Bruce to use, and have integrated a few things into the overall ranch improvements that we think. We actually built a new parking lot for trailers, for all the ranch trailers, where we wouldn't have to have them taking the space for the cars and the other vehicles at the sale. So I think we've done some things that are going to be fun for everybody attending and make it a little more enjoyable and comfortable. And we also added a big jumbotron behind the auctioneer, along with the new sound system integrated throughout the entire pavilion. Sherese has done most of the coordination and work on that. I just try to sell enough dirt to pay for it. But it'll be a lot more fun for us. Not nearly as stressful as it was last year, but we look forward to it.
Well, you all hid the stress very well last year because it seemed like everything went off seamlessly. So,
Thank you very much.
I'm excited to see the new things that you've done this year for the sale. So it should be fun. I think everyone's looking forward to it.
Good.
Okay, so while we're talking about last year you had 32 cash cows. That seems pretty incredible for your first sale.
Yeah, we were pleased. We were pleased with the sale and with what the animals brought and how it was received by the public and by the Longhorn breeders around the nation. And I think we're going to hopefully build on that and make it better this year. And I mean, and I believe the breeders, when you bring good animals to a sale, they should bring good money. And the key is bringing good animals. And with good animals, I think that we have the buyers in attendance that will pay. They never bring as much as you want, but they bring good money, and they bring the right kind of money for good animals, bringing good money. And along with that, I mean, it's always to make it a fun atmosphere and have it in a place where everybody can kind of enjoy everyone's camaraderie and get the Longhorn buzz going before you start throwing the money at it, right?
Do you remember the highest seller last year?
Mm-hmm.
I do. I believe it was the Danny daughter that brought $110,000, I believe.
We were bidding on her.
Yeah.
We almost got her.
Well, you always want that crazy 2 or 3 guys in the audience that if they don't buy them, they certainly made them bring more money.
Right.
And but it was not very nice animal and very nice.
And we did end up buying her daughter.
Okay.
Later on in the year, yeah.
Nice.
Danny Rose.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was the high seller of the cows. Do you remember the high seller of the heifers from last year?
Yes.
I believe that was
John Heaver.
John Heaver.
Or is it John Heaver or Dale Hunt? They were real close, neck and neck. I think it was John Heaver.
It was, yeah. HH 100 roses.
Yeah, 60,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
The beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She was
Good to see good animals like that bring good money.
Mm-hmm.
Dale's heifer brought 50 something.
55, I think.
50 is what I have, yeah. But yeah, 50, 55, still an incredible amount.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, should we jump into this year's sale?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. So I know everything starts on Thursday. What can people expect for Thursday?
Well, our consigners and kind of invitation only welcome party is our home, our ranch house there by our ranch itself, and I believe that starts
Thursday night at 6 o'clock for those people that are in town. It's a special get together for the sponsors and the consigners, and it's in our backyard. And we have Hutchins barbecue, and anyone that's in town is invited. Just, shoot me a text or an email. Trey Hutchins is now in the Longhorn business. He got in a couple years ago, and he is bringing his big smoker, which is called the Rex, named after Rex. So it's a fun get together, but it's not a totally closed get together. If you're in town, please feel free to join us.
Just reach out to Sherese, and right now it's technically the invitations have gone out to the consigners and the sponsors. Right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then and that's just kind of a.
Most people cruise in on Friday, but for those that are there Thursday.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And can cattle arrive all day on Thursday, or is there a specific window that you'd like them to arrive?
We'll be there. The ranch hands will be there. So whatever's most convenient, we try to accommodate.
I think we prefer for them to arrive a little bit when they don't go in too late in the evening.
Right.
I mean, maybe from the morning to early afternoon. I say early after 5 o'clock.
So we have technically 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
So I think the ranch hands want to come over and get some barbecue at 8 o'clock.
Sure. That's Thursday. So what happens on Friday? I believe everything starts, right away in the morning. They can come out and view the animals, I assume?
Sure.
Yeah, viewing all day Friday. Again, we built instead of putting heifers under a tent, this year we built 40 some odd, what I hope to be high-end heifer pens that are covered, and we install lights and electrical outlets, etc., in there for the heifers, and along with decomposed granite walkways for that. So it should make it a little easier for viewing of the heifers. And now the cows are under tents, and that'll be just outside the pavilion there. But what was the question again?
About the heifers?
No.
There's some gorgeous heifers coming.
That's what
So Friday, that afternoon, we start the party.
At 2:00 is a cocktail party.
Friday.
And then the Futurity and a Calcutta. We added a Calcutta this year. We didn't have that last year. And then as soon as that all concludes, we'll go right into the Heifer Sale.
And now a word from our sponsors.
From the Pasture by Hired Hand is presented by R3 Hilltop Ranch. Located in Chilton, Texas, R3 Hilltop Ranch has been breeding registered Texas Longhorns since 2006. What began as 3 heifers has grown into our current herd, which you can explore on our website at r3hilltop.com. We're passionate about loud colors, longhorns, and docile temperaments, but it's the easy-keeping, low-maintenance traits of Texas Longhorns that initially attracted us and continue to drive our herd growth. In addition to livestock, we proudly offer certified Longhorn beef products. Visit r3hilltop.com/beef to learn more. Thank you for listening and enjoy exploring our ranch online at r3hilltop.com.
Are you a new Longhorn breeder eager to educate yourself on market trends and sale prices? Stay in the loop with our text messages. Get the latest updates, events, and insider tips on all things Longhorns delivered straight to your phone.
Stay informed by texting website to 888-700-8131, then reply with Longhorns. That's website to 888-700-8131. Sign up today and take your breeding program to the next level. So your futurity is, I would say, not the traditional futurity that people are used to. It's a little bit different. Can you explain to people how you're going to run that?
So each heifer comes in the ring. There's 5 judges. They judge the heifer. Then we'll do the Calcutta, and then she'll go back to her pen, and we'll send every heifer in. And then when that's over, then we'll kind of take a little break, and then we'll start the sale. And then at the end of the sale, we'll announce the winners of the futurity.
And the heifers that are in the futurity they're also the heifers that are for sale.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you put a heifer in the sale, she is automatically in the futurity.
Very
It seems
nice.
like it'd be cooler to announce the winners before that sale, where if you're bidding on it, that she was number 1 or number 2 or number 3.
Yeah, but that's not fair. If say your heifer got 7th or 8th or didn't, so the first 5 heifers win money. So if your heifer didn't win, then maybe people aren't going to bid as much, and maybe she's just as gorgeous as the heifer who did win.
Okay, well, now I understand the rules. Rules of engagement. Now I get that.
And then there's a choice winner too.
Whoever gets the most votes from the people also wins an award.
Separate from, so we have the first 5 of 2022 and 2023 for the Heifer Futurity winners. Then we also have a People's Choice for both 2022 and 2023. And everyone will get a voter's card when they check in the office and get their bidder's card. They'll get a voter's card to vote for their choice of the People's Choice heifer.
Very good. So then the People's Choice is anybody who is in attendance, not just the consigners.
Exactly.
Perfect.
You get a bidder's number.
So is she saying that you have to get a bidder's number to vote?
To get a voter's card.
Got it. Who are you going to have for judges?
We have Kathy Palladini, John Randolph, Joe Silachik, Tammy Tyner, is that how you say it? Tyner?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Stacy Schumacher.
That's a good panel. Good panel.
Yeah, I think they're great.
So then the heifer sale starts at 4:30?
Yes.
So it's 5.
Well, 4:30. there'll be some announcements and this and that and the other. So just
Probably
after that.
the real sale probably starts closer to 5, but we'll all sit down and begin the event around 4:30ish.
Okay. And after the sale is the awards from the fraternity. I'm assuming you'll do the class payouts, the People's Choice, and then also the Calcutta payouts at that time.
Exactly.
And after all of the awards and the sale, then it's the party.
The big party.
Yeah.
The track shed.
What time does that start?
We're thinking around 7:30. Last year we were a little bit early.
Yeah.
This year we kind of moved everything back because they weren't quite ready for us. We all descended upon the tractor shed, and the band was still setting up. So I think the timing's going to be a little bit better this year.
Okay.
We have the same Hacienda Ranch Mexican food for that evening. I actually moved them to Frisco in 1993, 1994. He invented the frozen margarita, and he's in the Mr. Martinez is in the national, what do you call it, the museum, and he has the Slurpee machine. He first invented the frozen margarita in there in the National Museum.
What is that? It's the
We went there, but
I can't remember.
anyway, it's in Washington D.C. the National Museum where you have the Wright brothers planes, etc. And he's there for inventing the frozen margarita, which if you're a Texan, it's kind of like if you don't know what that is, then you're kind of need to get kicked out. But so between frozen margaritas and good Mexican food, and he does a hell of a job.
Yeah.
And very good
And Ray
food.
Johnson.
And we have Ray Johnson band
The same band,
as our performer that night. And I think, didn't you add an extension of a tent?
We did. Well, it's on hold.
I think you should
Depending
go
on
do
the
it.
rain.
Yeah. We're going to go maybe extend the tractor shed out a little bit with another tent outside in case to have a lot more room for everybody where the dance floor can open up in the tractor shed. But
And we moved the serving of the food inside the ranch office, which is right next. It adjoins the tractor shed.
Yeah.
And so I think we'll have a little more space this year. We won't be so crammed in the tractor shed.
So for people who have questions sale day, who should they contact?
Myself or Aton or Tessa will be in the back. Tessa and her crew. Rex.
Yeah, don't call me.
Probably me.
Call Sherese
The
or
first choice.
Tessa, or I think that'd be a better idea to do that.
Yeah, Alberto.
I just work
Alberto,
here.
his phone number is in the catalog.
Yeah.
He's a good contact.
And Alberto
person.
we can get a fallback to. Maybe those four: Sherese,
Tessa, Alberto,
and Aton.
Aton, and last but not least, Rex.
Yeah, if you can't get hold of those four, you can call me then.
So earlier you mentioned Bruce and Lori. So Bruce will be there for the auctioneer. Who are you having for the pedigree reader?
Chase, Pursuit.
Yes. So then, so Tessa's going to be in the back. Is that who they should contact if for some reason they can't get their animals there within the window of time that you would like them to be there?
Absolutely.
I'd say Tessa or Alberto.
Yeah, and both of their phone numbers are in the catalog,
Okay.
or you can find it on the website, on our website. But yes, those are your two best contacts for delivering animals if it's
Okay.
late.
And as far as haulers, I think you usually list haulers in your catalog. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you
We
have
have-
lined up this year?
Ron, Bailey, Wes, and Wes's son, Wes Clark's son, Jim.
Okay.
So we have those three.
And if for some reason their trailers are full, there's, I'm sure, somebody else there willing to haul an animal or in any direction that it needs to go.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work.
Yep. And I'll be sure to message out the haulers and their phone numbers during the sale as well, both on Friday and Saturday. So if I hear of anybody else, I'll be sure to list them for online buyers.
Perfect.
And your sponsors for this year, you have quite the list. It's like 2 full pages of sponsors. You want to talk about them a little bit?
It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Ag Trust is
Yeah,
our title
title
sponsor.
sponsor.
We're really excited about them. They'll have a table, and several of them are coming. Garrett's coming. It's a wonderful, what would you call it? Not a company.
Lender.
A lender.
They're a bank.
Yeah.
It's basically a ag bank, ag trust bank, and they do a nice job. We've done business with them for 15, 20 years, and they have reached out to us and wanted to get involved, and so they are a title sponsor. We've got some really good sponsors, and we actually, I think one of your potential questions was talking about Sherese had some T-shirts made with all the sponsors' names on the back and brands on the back, and
that went viral. Honestly, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So everybody that gets a bidder's card gets a T-shirt, and we'll have plenty, so there'll be extra. But that was kind of a new thing we brought in, and it's generated a lot of excitement.
I think she made these shirts almost look like they burnt orange, Texas.
Yeah.
They're little with the Fiesta brand on the front and the Longhorn.
And all the sponsors on the back.
Yeah.
And we had to turn away people for that. Next year we'll have 2 T-shirts.
Well, I saw those in the catalog and thought that was a really neat idea to have all of the sponsors listed on the shirt. I'm sure they also appreciate that too. So now let's talk about the consigners. As well as 2 full pages of sponsors, there are also 2 full pages of consigners this year as well. And when I was looking at the list of consigners, they are from every corner of the U.S., from Maryland to Virginia. There's one from Iowa, North Dakota, all the way over to California and Oregon. So that's pretty exciting for you all to have people from all over the U.S. coming to your sale.
Diversified. I like to see that. Everybody getting involved from not just Texas and Oklahoma, but getting more of the whole United States, and the breeders from across the entire country getting involved is fun. A lot of fun.
Some amazing cows, amazing heifers.
Yeah, and I know it seemed
overwhelmed with the response.
Yeah, and it seems like every pocket of the U.S. has their own, not own breeding, but there's more breeding in each little pocket of the U.S. So it'll be fun to see all of that breeding come together at your sale.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about the heifer sale. The very first lot is a donation lot. Do you want to explain? Because I believe this is also your donation lot, correct?
We donated the heifer.
Yeah.
And
What you mean?
she's adorable.
That's what a donation lot is.
I know. Disco Alfie. She's adorable.
Beautiful color, kind of a
Black, purple,
kind of a
black.
bluish black roan. I think she looks like has a little blue hue of blue, and you could say purple, but that's what Longhorn breeders say purple when it's. But it's purple blue and spotted black. She's got a lot of Alfieism and a lot of Alfie in her bloodline, and she beautiful little feminine heifer that's got great color. Kind of almost looks like a frosty purple blue heifer that is kind of catches your eye when you go in the pasture. You can't help but look at the color and the natural color of her. You can expand.
But it's all for the Longhorn Heritage Foundation, and we're happy to donate the heifer for that. And we feel like she's a nice heifer.
So it'd be kind of hard for me to try to buy her the first time and donate her back. Somebody else is going to have to take that paddle up on that.
Take the lead on that, huh?
It might look a little fishy if I start trying to buy my own heifer out there on the farm.
Well, I believe there's another.
Happened to me being on animals.
For sure.
So you know that as long as you've been around, Jaymie. The different animals that we've swapped and traded through the years. There's been stranger stories to be told, right?
Right.
That's for sure. So I believe there's also a special lot in the heifer sale, which is an embryo lot. Do you want to explain the story behind her?
Well, she's on the ground. She was born March 12th. She's out of Buckwin and Rose of Sebastian. And Rex can expound on Rose of Sebastian.
Well, everybody has their own grade and taste in life, but I believe that Rose of Sebastian was the best female or cow that Red raised in my 40 years of knowing them. And we bought her at his, I guess it was a dispersal sale, I think.
It was before the dispersal.
Maybe before, one of the sales before the dispersal. And she's just a beautiful, beautiful animal. Probably, I don't think that, I can't fault her. I mean, from horns to color to production to milking to genetics. I mean, she's just close to perfect as we have in our herd. And to have a female on the ground from Buckwin and Rose of Sebastian, you could be a stunner. I think this little heifer is going to be something really, truly special. So we thought that was kind of a way to integrate Red and homage to Red, and also offer something that was really tangible, where you can see the animal there. It's not, when you buy something that's in the oven, you don't really know what it is, but when you can see it and it's live and tangible and viable out of that type of breeding and genetics, it'll be exciting. And I think it kind of complements the Fiesta Sale and honoring Red and what he did for 50 years and making our breed what it is today.
And just to throw this in there, Rose of Sebastian is the dam of the edge of RM, which most people probably know that, but just to...
And I think, in my opinion, of course, nobody asked me my opinion, I don't think. Maybe you did. But Mike Davis got the best bloodline from a bull from Red's program, their Edge RM, and I believe we got the best female.
Yeah, and we put the Edge on the front page with Red.
We put the Edge of RM in the catalog with Red in there just to honor him on the very front cover from the front page. So, but special man that did a lot for our breed. I don't think people young, I have to watch myself when I start seeing young breeders that have only been in the business for 3 or 5 or 6 years, that really, when you go back over 4 and 5 decades, to know what effort and what tenacity it took to stay hooked to the wagon for 5 years and to complement and to have a true breeding program. And when we started really swapping stock, when Red called me back up in the early 2000s, 2001 and 2 and 3, he says, when we swapped from that point in time, he brought our Glendenning Farms genetics into his program. We brought his Red McCombs RM brand into our breeding program. So we've probably been, for 25 years or so, we bought a few things before that, but we really got heavy in swapping stock in 25 years ago. And he got a lot of our good stuff, and we got a lot of his good stuff, and that's what makes it fun. So, I always like swapping with somebody with more money than me. When you're swapping with a billionaire, it makes you feel, I always enjoy that. I enjoy the swap more when somebody's got more dough than I do. So, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also when Red McCones believed in your breeding program too. That had to be that had to be pretty special. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was trying to grow. I'll make it quick here. I was growing my real estate business and my platform and working all the time. And Red was calling my ranch manager, and my ranch manager wouldn't give him a price on things. And so Red calls me up about 3 weeks later, and he goes, Rex, Red here. How come I can't make a deal with your boy there, your ranch manager? I said, well, Red, we'll make a deal here today. And he wanted to buy a bull I had that was special. And I said, Red, I'm not going to sell him to you, but I'll give him to you. He said, what? What are you going to do? I'll swap the billionaire out of 10 grand or 15 grand or something. He said, so I sent the bull down there to his place. I think he bought another 7 or 8 heifers. And as we were unloading at his place, he had a trailer coming back this way, and he loaded 8 heifers in there to pay me for the bull. So that's the kind of man he was.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of the bull that you were just talking about?
He named him after we sold it to him. And the bull, he was a damn nice bull.
I can't remember.
He got about, I think he got 5 good years out of him. I would remind him. And then
I have to look it up. We're old. We don't remember.
I'll remember in a minute.
Yeah. And then he bought Awesome Yates.
He bought Awesome Yates from us, and then we bought him back, bought her back from him. One of our better Yates cows that we had, but to look back at a man that in the 80s was able to take a white bull in Classic and syndicate him for $1 million and kind of set the platform for how people partner cattle today. I mean, and I would say today in our business, kind of Dean Whitlock is the guy that's out here putting the bigger partnerships together for top animals. And Red did that and kind of set the platform, the template for that to follow. And it made animals bring more money. It brought more excitement to the industry. And when a cow's selling for $200,000 or $175,000 and there's 5 partners or 6 partners, it's a little bit easier to swallow, and you don't get hit as hard from your wife when you get home.
I'm sure that's never happened with you two, right?
Never.
No, never. That's how come.
One time.
That's how come here.
One time.
It sounds like we'll have to dig into that story maybe a little bit later.
No, never.
One time was when I bought the dam of both G-Man and Heavy Hitter, and I bought her, and she got mad at me because she thought I overpaid at the South Fork sale. And then she never has told me that I was right, but yeah.
I have told you you're right. She wasn't a real beautiful
She's hanging
cow.
in one of my conference rooms in the other room.
She's actually in the other room. She was really and truly the best cow we ever owned. But when he bought her, I told him, I said, she's so ugly, I don't even want to put her in the trailer.
Oh, she wasn't ugly.
She was ugly.
Back then.
She
Anyway.
They didn't.
She was a pure riot cow. And
she ended up being amazing.
And she was just a producer. She produced calves. She had a calf when she was 25 years old.
Yeah, at the time, she was just this young heifer, and she wasn't a good looker. But she grew into it.
But I want you to say one more time.
You were right. You were right.
Thank you.
All right, we got it on record now, right? We're good. So that wraps up the Friday's heifer sale. Let's talk about Saturday. What can people expect on Saturday?
Some beautiful cows.
Yeah.
I mean, gorgeous animals that I think that in my opinion, we've upgraded beyond our initial sale, our first sale to second. I believe we've got animals that are outstanding that may raise the bar another level, and ought to be fun.
And there's
always fun when you have good people and plenty to drink and good animals to bid on, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, we're all good.
And now let's hear from our advertisers.
Do you sometimes feel like you're the only one who doesn't have it all figured out? Rural life can be isolating, but it doesn't have to be.
Welcome to Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, the podcast for women who are craving connection, laughter, solidarity, camaraderie, and just overall encouragement in your everyday life and dreams.
Each week, your hosts, Annalise, that's me, and Courtney will cover topics such as farm life, mom life, making money online, side hustles, hobbies, sharing on social media, jobs off the farm, and so much more.
Us rural gals need to stick together, so saddle up for some fun, real, and unsolicited advice and stories from our everyday farm lives.
Grab a drink, we're Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, and we're here to help. Listen wherever you find podcasts.
Planning a live auction and want to reach more buyers? Hired Hand Live brings the power of the internet to your event, allowing bidders from anywhere to participate in real time. We specialize in integrating online bidding seamlessly with your live auction, ensuring that no one misses out.
Your livestock plus our technical expertise equals one successful auction. Let Hired Hand Live help you expand your reach and maximize your results. Visit hiredhandlive.com to learn more.
Looking for top quality Longhorns and a taste of true Texas spirit? Look no further than Cantera Cattle Company. Our passion for Longhorn shines at Old Gringo Ranch, where tradition meets excellence. Visit us online at CanterraCattleCompany.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest updates and ranch life fun. Ready to experience it yourself? Schedule your visit by emailing canterracattle@gmail.com. Remember, God is great, Longhorns are good, and life is crazy.
So on Saturday, I believe you're having breakfast.
Yes. Yes.
We had about twice as much as we needed last year, but they're beautiful. We have brisket tacos. And
we have breakfast tacos and some donuts. We've cut it down. We had way too much breakfast last year.
But we have a lot of Tenders Barbecues bringing their select breakfast tacos out, choice of potato and or brisket and or sausage, etc. And then we also have a table with different croissants and or donuts, etc. on it. Mm-hmm. And then we have various coffee drinks, including alcoholic coffee drinks. Mm-hmm. And I think Mike did a good job with bringing the servers out at the treasure sale, just like we did last year, and we'll have the same thing again this year. If you're sitting down, the servers will come to you and bring you whatever you want to drink and or eat, for that matter. If you say bring me a couple of tacos, they'll bring them to you. And so it'll be fun. And then some at the table, some may be looking at animals, somebody may be wanting to drink and bullshit and eat a taco and get your drink on a little early, right?
Yeah, get your Bloody Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember after the sale, everyone was talking about the hot dogs and the hamburgers, I believe, that were during the sale.
Corn dogs.
Corn dogs. Yes.
Yeah, we had the Fletcher's dogs. And the Fletcher's corny dogs are kind of famous here. And then the Hamburger Man's kind of a local favorite here in North Dallas.
So we changed it up a little bit this year. So last year, everyone was going out and standing in line for the hamburger or the corny dog. This year, we're going to actually serve it to the table. So you stay at the table. Don't leave the sale. Don't go stand in line.
And if you say, I want 3 hamburgers, they'll go bring you back 3 hamburgers.
Yeah.
If you say, I want 4 corny dogs, they'll bring you 4 corny dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna serve them to keep everybody involved in the sale and not standing in line.
Okay.
We just
all right.
It was a little bit of a hassle for people to maybe be number 4 in line or 5 in line. So the servers will let them know how many hamburgers go to this table or that. So we thought it might step it up a little bit, make it a little less time consuming for you'd have to say the bidder and or the attendees that are at the sale. So it'll be same food, just a little less hassle maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, some more restaurant style.
And what was that dessert? What's it called?
Well, that's that.
Funnel cakes. We got the funnel.
Yeah.
So
from Fletcher's.
Funnel cakes. So they do a good job.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
And I also heard from many people last year that they really enjoyed the martinis, the chocolate martinis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our daughter is kind of, I don't know, famous is the right term, but she's got 3 New York Times best-selling cookbooks, and she has about 1 million people, and she's, what do you call it, social influencer, and so she drinks those martinis, espresso martinis, and so she had the bartenders making espresso martinis, which taste chocolatey, but I don't drink them. I can't go that deep anymore.
They were a hit.
Yeah, they definitely were.
And they also had the really nice coffee drinks with it. The coffee has to be extra hot before you start mixing any.
So that was Alan Sparger's favorite drink, the other coffee drink that had like a bunch of Cool whipped cream or something.
Yeah.
It was actually delicious. Yeah, I think I preferred that over the espresso martini.
We have to be a little more refined to go into the espresso martini.
It's very pretty.
It was very pretty last year, I remember.
To make it perfect in the middle, they put a little foam, and then they put a cocoa bean on top of the foam. And that's when you know you've got the perfect espresso martini. If they put the coffee bean on top of the foam on there, then you know you've got the
You're refined.
It's a good one then, huh? So after the sale, are you going to let people load out after the sale? And then also, what time on Sunday would you like all of the cattle gone?
By noon would be wonderful.
Okay.
On Sunday. That would be our wish list.
Yeah, we had a couple of stragglers last year that kind of made all the handlers are ready to go home. And so ideally, having the animals out by noon would be best. That's what our wish list is.
Yeah.
So maybe give the back crew a little bit of time to enjoy a corn dog and a hamburger after the sale. Give them a little rest, some energy, and then they can start loading out then.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you would like to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that we're excited about everybody joining us and help to make it a little bigger and a little better and nicer and more fun. And I think that everybody kind of get together for a true Longhorn weekend on the ranch. Can't beat that. The key is, and I always liked it, what I loved about Red Sale, which is on the ranch and at his ranch, and you were going to a Longhorn sale at his ranch. And I don't think you can replicate that in any way if you just keep it tried and true to your ranch, and you spell a little more cow shit here and there, and maybe, but that's okay. You're at a Longhorn sale, and you're next to the real corrals where you keep the cattle year round, and it's just a lot of fun. It's kind of integrates the true backdrop of what Longhorn breeding's all about, and the breeders.
And what about your ranch tours?
Yeah, we're contemplating maybe doing some limited ranch tours, but I bought a hay wagon, an Amish hay wagon that is on cushion shocks, and so we're going to probably try to do a ranch tour. You want to try to do one on Thursday afternoon, maybe one Thursday afternoon and one Friday afternoon both before the sale, and maybe
really Friday morning. We're just going to kind of wing it. There's been a lot of people that want to see the ranch, and so Ricky will hook up the tractor to the Amish trailer. We take the kids in this Amish trailer. It's a lot of fun. We just kind of drive through the ranch.
It has nice shocks on it, etc.
And see the cows.
It's covered. But these are where most of our probably 70 or 80% of our top cattle are on the 300 acres there at our home place at a ranch. So we have about 150 acres on the north side of the creek, and 100 is on in that. And we have two different sets of high-end cattle there, which the tour would probably be from the time you hook up and get back less than an hour.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
45 minutes. And then we would come back and pick another load up, and it would probably hold 20 people comfortably. Mm-hmm. And then we would have maybe one of our ranch managers or people that would know the cattle that would be in the back with the folks that they could answer. That's Rose Sebastian, and that's
Rose is going to be in the tent.
Yeah, is she?
Yes. But I do want to mention that the kids zone. We have the kids zone again this year. It's going to be bigger and better than last year. So
any of the kids,
please bring your kids.
If you bring your kids, we'll have a larger kids zone than we did last year.
And we'll have attendants there to watch the kids, make sure they all stay safe.
Well, I'm looking forward to this year as well. Last year, you all did a fantastic job. So I'm sure this year will be even better. But thanks for joining us. We can't wait to see which consignments will soon be moving to pastures after the second annual Glendenning Sale. Be sure to check out the consignments ahead of sale day and follow us for more updates. Until next time.
Thanks, Jaymie.